Purarachi.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines. The President says that digitalization will definitely place the country on new heights. GovPay facility has been arranged for payments for all services at 16 state institutions. 30 more bodies will provide this facility from April. Services of the President's Fund are available at village level from today. Farmer organizations request that the purchase of paddy at certified price should not be looked at from a political angle. The Attorney General's Department informs that the suspects mentioned in the letter directed to the CID by the Attorney General with regard to a case in Mount Lavinia courts have not been arrested in connection with Lasantha's killing. 3 suspects of criminal gang members arrested in Dubai were brought to the country. President Trump signed an executive order to impose sanctions against the International Court of Justice. Moving on to local news first. Aimed at accelerating Sri Lanka's digital transformation, 3 key digital initiatives were officially launched today at the Presidential Secretariat under the patronage of President Anurakumara Dissanayake.
These initiatives include the establishment of the GovPay governmental digital payment platform, the expansion of the President's Fund services to the divisional secretariat levels, and introduction of the EBMD system for obtaining birth, marriage and death certificates through embassies. The project is being jointly implemented by the Ministry of Digital Economy, the Information and Communication Technology Agency and LankaPay, with the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, ensuring the security of the payment platform and fostering public trust in its operations. Through the GovPay platform, the payments for all services related to 16 government institutions can be processed in the initial phase. Starting from April, an additional 30 government institutions are planned to be integrated into the platform. Moving forward, there is an ambition to unify all government institutions under the system. Currently, 12 state and private banks have already joined the platform. As a part of this initiative, the President's Fund was officially decentralized to the divisional secretariat level, enabling online application submissions for financial assistance. To further drive digital transformation, a system was introduced allowing Sri Lankans living abroad to obtain certified copies of birth, marriage and death certificates to their respective embassies. As an initial implementation, a Sri Lankan resident in South Korea successfully received a birth certificate through the online system. This initiative marks a significant step forward as enabling expatriate Sri Lankans to access official documents where their embassies will greatly simplify bureaucratic process and improve their quality of life. Speaking at this event, President Anurakumara Dissanayake emphasized that technological advancements play a pivotal role in improving people's lives by delivering efficient, high-quality and cost-effective services. He noted that throughout the history, technological processes have been the driven force behind societal advancement, continuously elevating human civilization. The President also highlighted that the President's Fund has traditionally been managed from Colombo, which has posed significant challenges for citizens in remote villages. To address this, the Fund's operations will now be decentralized to the divisional secretariat level, ensuring greater accessibility and convenience. He further stressed that such transformative decisions should have been made long ago, as delays in policy implementation have hampered economic progress and public welfare. However, with digitalization, urban and rural communities are now more interconnected than ever, making technology a vital tool in reducing rural poverty and resolving grassroots challenges. President Dissanayake reaffirmed that digitalization is the key driver that can be propelled Sri Lanka to a new stage of development, enabling citizens to meet their needs seamlessly, free from obstacles, inefficiencies and bureaucratic delays. President Anurakumara Dissanayake emphasized that due to the mechanized nature of modern life, the Sri Lankan people have gradually lost their connection to the cultural living. However, he pointed out that digitalization could facilitate the revival of cultural life, making it essential to ensure the success of this initiative. He further stated that the introduction of the digital national identity card marks a key milestone in this transformation. The President stressed that urgency of implementing these changes rapidly, highlighting that transparency, efficiency and bridging the urban-rural divide are critical to Sri Lanka's digital transformation. He assured that the government is making significant efforts to elevate at the national level to a NIV level through digitalization.
සංස්කෘතික ජීවිතය සඳහා කාලෙකට අවශ්‍ය දැන්වත් ඇති නැත්ද කියලා උදේ නැගිටිනවා වැඩට යනවා හවස එනවා නිදා ගන්නවා ආයෙ නැගිටිනවා මේක ටිකක් මේ රළු නැත්ද මේක තමයි අද තියෙන විශාලම ඛේදවාදී. එහෙනම් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ අපිට මේ මෙන්න සංස්කෘතික ජීවිතය සඳහා යම් කාලයක් අපි වෙන් කරගන්නවා. අන්නේ කාලයක් වෙන් කර ගැනීමේදී මම හිතනවා ඩිජිටල් කරණය අපිට පහසු වෙනක් තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා තමයි මේක දකින්නේ ආර්ථික පැත්තෙන් ගම හා නගරය අතර තියෙන පරස්පරතාවයේ පැත්තෙන් පමණක් නෙවෙයි. මේක දකින්නේ මිනිස්සුන්ට නැවත සංස්කෘතික ජීවිතයක් උරුම කරලා දෙන්න නම් තමන් වෙත පැවරී තිබෙන කාර්යභාරය ඉතාමත් කාර්යක්ෂම ඉටුකොට ඒ සංස්කෘතික ජීවිතය සඳහා.
Now what has been established through global statistics and global parallels.
Senior advisor to on digitalization and chairman of the Information and Communication Technology Agency, Dr. Hans Vijay Surya.
Higher the GDP growth rate can be. And it has been shown that around 1 to 3% of GDP growth uplift can be achieved by accelerating the depth of the digital economy. So to put it simply, if our growth is 3 to 5%, then by accelerating the penetration of the digital economy, you could be aspiring to +1, +2, +3 points of growth over and above. So to achieve this, the government of Sri Lanka, the Ministry of Digital Economy, under the leadership of His Excellency himself and Honorable Iranga Weeraratne, the Deputy Minister, as well as the related agencies, have put together a framework, a roadmap to accelerate this journey, but safely.
තමන්ට තියෙන ඉන්ටර්නෙට් ඇක්සස් එක තියෙන තැනට ගිහිල්ලා ඒ පේමන්ට් එක කරන්න පුළුවන් පහසුකම සහ ඒ පේමන්ට් එකේ තියෙන
Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, cited that payments can be made by visiting a place where Internet Access GOV Pay program has also joined this facility in confirming the security of the payment. Minister Iranga Weeraratne pointed out that without wasting time in queues, a better performance can be obtained by joining the process. Accordingly, the country can speedily reach from 2 to 3% to 5 to 6%. Paddy stores are being freed in many districts in order to purchase the paddy harvest of this Maha season. The Paddy Marketing Board have plans to purchase 5,000 kilos from farmers under the certified price of the government. All the paddy stores in Polonnaruwa district have reached the final stage of clearing. According to our correspondent, clearing of another store which belongs to the Hinguragoda store complex has been completed with the participation of the members of the civil security force. Talawa, Tambutegama, Kakirava, Notchagama, Pemaduwa and Senanayaka Rambava stores which were belong to Paddy Marketing Board of Anuradhapura district have already been opened. After the purchase of paddy harvest by the Paddy Marketing Board, the payment will be credited to the accounts of the farmers within 2 days. Regional Manager of the PMB Anuradhapura, Nimal Tennakon, observed that from next Monday, steps will be taken to open paddy purchasing centres according to the decisions taken by farm organizations and on the method of packaging. On any occasion where the price of paddy will be reduced in the market says available with the PMB in many districts. Ma Elia Dagaba paddy stores which belongs to the Polpitikama Divisional Secretariat in Kurunegala district is being cleaned by now. In the meantime, the United Farmers Organization of Nuvaravava says they appreciate the action taken by the government to fix a certified price for paddy. Secretary of the United Farmers Association Nuvaravava Venerable Radgama Samit Tera pointed out that farmers are protesting, stating that the price granted for a kilogram of paddy is insufficient. They may be making these statements under the influence of other political authorities. Farmers have been informed that the price of kilogram of paddy is 120 rupees. Everyone is happy with the decision of the government to fix the price of paddy at 120 rupees per kilo.
The Attorney General's department says that the suspects mentioned in the letter forwarded to the Department of Criminal Investigation Department dated 27 January 2025 by the Attorney General regarding the case number B92/2009 of Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court are not the suspects taken into custody in connection with the assassination of Lasantha Wickrematunge. According to a release issued by Attorney General's Department, investigations regarding the assassination has not been completed.
The release further states that the content present in the statements provided by the mass media and social media does not compare with the investigations contents forwarded by the Criminal Investigations Department. 6 years have been lapsed since 2015 and the year of assassination of veteran media person Lasantha Wickrematunge. A certain group by the end of 2009 has informed that the driver has been abducted while he was providing a statement again to the CID. The driver of Lasantha Wickrematunge is not an eyewitness of the assassination. Steps have been taken to record facts under the case number B92/2009 heard before the Mount Lavinia Magistrates Court on an investigation initiated according to the above information provided. The release further states that a person who had been named as a suspect in the above mentioned investigation released since enough witnesses was not available in order to file criminal charges against them. According to the Attorney General's Department, this release would not come in the way to consider filing criminal charges based on the revelation of the new witness.
The Committee on Deciding the Minimum Price of Purchasing Paddy says that the certified prices were declared considering all the relevant determinants in this connection. The aim of this move is to provide rice to consumers at reasonable prices while safeguarding the farmers.
Chairman of the Paddy Marketing Board, Manjula Pinalanda, said that the farmers can bring paddy wherever they can find, which has been sold at a lower price than the price fixed by the government. The PMB will be attentive about the quality and the standard of paddy purchased in that manner, since government money is involved in this process. The Paddy Marketing Board is trying to purchase the amount of paddy that can be released again in a crisis situation after storing them.
උන්වහන්සේලාගේ කුසගින්න නිවා ගන්න අර්බුදයක් ආපු වෙලාවක නිදහස් කරන්න පුළුවන් ප්‍රමාණයෙන් අපි ගන්න උත්සාහ කරනවා.
Views were expressed regarding the certified prices in the Parliament as well. Parliamentarian Rohan Bandara asked the government whether the certified prices has been declared on a scientific basis. He also questioned whether the paddy storages have been opened in any place of the country. Deputy Minister of Agriculture Damal Karunaratne said that a sum of 5 billion rupees has been set aside at present. More funds will be allocated according to the necessity that they will arise in the future. He said that the Treasury has agreed to provide required funds. And as the farmers' organisation, they mentioned about a production cost of 154 rupees per kilo. However, the cost was decided in a backdrop of fertilised ban. He added that following this situation, all the crops were at risk in declining. Many farmers gave up paddy cultivation. He also said that on the other hand, a 50 kilogram pack of fertilizer was sold at about 30,000 to 40,000 rupees. The cost of 154 rupees per kilo was decided in such circumstances. He further said that moreover, the Agrarian Organisation Conference carried out a slogan from this initiation according to the determinants issued by the Department of Agriculture.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya stated that all legal steps in order to provide justice regarding the assassination of veteran journalist Lasantha Wickrematunge will be taken by the government. The Prime Minister revealed in the Parliament today that the letter forwarded to her by the daughter of Lasantha Wickrematunge in respect of the assassination has also been received by her.
Yes, I have received the letter and I am planning to respond to that letter to Ms. Wickrematunge personally, since she has sent it to me. Our government position on this case is very clear. We intend to seek justice for the murder of Lasantha Wickrematunge. That has been our position in the past and that continues to be our position in currently as well. I well understand Ahimsa's concerns and the agony she must be feeling right now, but I want to assure her, and I will assure her, that we will do everything in our power to make sure that justice is delivered on this matter. As you know, we are doing our very best to follow due process, to give at the Attorney General's office that independence, but justice has to be served. That is also the responsibility of our government, to ensure that justice is served, and we have had extensive discussions. The President met with those involved to try and see what can be done. If necessary, we will refile whatever inquiries, initiate new inquiries, take every step possible to gather new evidence, because if the question is about lack of evidence, this is a case that has plenty of evidence. The CID has done this. There have been many people involved in this case who have worked hard on this case, and if necessary, we will file new cases. We will do everything that we can to make sure that this case receives justice and that Ahimsa's concerns are addressed.
Coconut Development Authority says that it is expected to import kernels of 200 million coconuts, coconut milk and desiccated coconut under tax concessions on a short-term import-export basis. According to the chairman of the board, Shanth Ranatunga, the aim is to control the rising coconut prices in the market due to the decrease in the coconut harvest during the coming months. Chairman of the Coconut Development Authority, Shanth Ranatunga, said that a cabinet paper has been presented on the 3rd of February 2025 regarding the import of 200 million of coconut kernels, coconut milk powder and desiccated coconut. It is hoped that the high demand for coconut from our production factories will be reduced, as this will also provide an opportunity to supply coconuts for consumers at a fair rate. Coconut kernel and coconut milk powder will be imported only for the local use of industrialists. The import process will be granted permission under the short-term import-export procedure. Through this process, all the imported products will be directed towards re-export after adding value to them. The tax in this regard will be levied by the Industrial Development Ministry and Sri Lanka Customs on a short-term import-export basis. Concessions of this nature is being provided to those who are already engaged in coconut industry in order to avoid the inconvenience caused to the consumers due to the drop in the harvest during the months of January, February, March and April, as per the forecast of the Coconut Research Institute.
Minister of Urban Development Anura Karnatilaka informed Parliament today that the imported hydrated lime with a high content of chromium has not been released to any water purification plants in the country.
The minister, who responded to the allegation by parliamentarian D.V. Chanaka yesterday and once agrarian raised by parliamentarian Shanakyam Razamanikyam today, said that the public can drink tap water without fear, as hydrated lime with high content of chromium has not been used to purify water. He said that the consignment in question was tested at 9 labs after an initial test showed chromium levels exceeding the permitted limit. He added that the first test detected in 11.3 milligram of chromium per kilogram, surpassing the previous limit of 10 kilogram. He noted that in 2024, the Sri Lanka Standards Institute raised the permissible chromium level in hydrated lime from 10 kilogram to 12 kilograms. He also said that as a result, this water board did not issue a letter of acceptance for the consignment after the lime was not used at any treatment plant. He added that the dedicated and detected chromium levels, which were still significantly lower than limits set by countries such as the United Kingdom and Singapore. And meanwhile, a meeting between President Anurukumar Dissanayake and the chairman of the Nippon Education in Japan, Yoshio Sasakawa, was held today at the Presidential Secretariat. The President emphasized that the most prominent task of the government is to eradicate rural poverty in Sri Lanka and expressed hope the initiative would also lead to improvements in education concurrently. During the meeting, Yoshio Sasakawa stated that his foundation is committed to contributing the improvement of public health, education and the welfare of the differently abled community in Sri Lanka. The chairman of the Nippon Foundation specifically highlighted that his organization is particularly focused on supporting the educational development of students in the Jaffna district. Furthermore, the President noted that the government plans to initiate special project aimed to addressing rural poverty, which is a priority in the country's development agenda. A program initiated by the Nippon Foundation to provide required aid to enhance health and infrastructure facilities in Sri Lanka was held at the auditorium of the Ministry of Mass Media today under the patronage of the chairman of the Nippon Foundation. Secretary to the Ministry of Health and Mass Media, Consultant Dr. Anil Jayasinghe, member of the Clean Sri Lanka Presidential Task Force Sisira Amarabandhu, Director General of the Government Information Department SHKJ Bandara, and several others were present at this occasion. And meanwhile, Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation is ready to hold the Sri Lanka Piri Avrudha Siri series of programs in a grand scale this year, and also parallel to the Rukirilla 2025, along with the competitions in the Piribidu round of the Bonita will be held at the Rupavahini premises on Sunday. A discussion covering the basic organization activities in this respect was held at the SLRC premises today. All contestants participating in the competition will have to be present at Rupavahini premises by 7 a.m. on Sunday, where those who are eligible for the final contest will be selected from among them. Most attractive and popular girls are expected to be selected based upon their SMS responses on the Weavers. Valuable responses and prizes would be awarded to those contestants who will secure the first, second and third positions. This apart, and certain other awards will also be presented during the contest. National Beauty Creation Company has also joined hands in the sponsorship of Rukirilla 2025 Bonita contest. Rukirilla Grand Finale will be held on the 15th of April at the Mavthagama grounds in Kurunagala, parallel to the Sri Lanka Piri Avrudha Siri celebrations. Deputy Director General of Programs of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Nilar and Kazim, along with others, participated in this discussion. Moving ahead with more local stories, Secretary to the Ministry of Energy, Udayanga Hemapala, says that new amendments will be introduced to the Electricity Act. People can forward their views for the proposed amendments until the 14th of this month, and he clarified that this topic at a media briefing held yesterday. Secretary to the Ministry of Energy, Udayanga Hemapala, pointed out that the policy of the government is to see as to how to provide electricity to the people at a low price and to maintain energy security of the country and to achieve both. The government has the need to introduce changes to the existing system of rules and regulations. Approval has been obtained by the Cabinet through the appointed Committee of Power Sector Reform Secretariat in order to fulfill the need. The main objective is to develop the energy sector of the country by amending the Electricity Act, which is favorable to the country after getting the views of the public.
විමසීම් අරගෙන හැමෝටම හොඳ ඒ වගේම රටට හිතකර වෙන විදියට මේ විදුලි බල පනත කොහොමද සංශෝධනය කරගෙන අපේ එනර්ජි සෙක්ටර් එක ඩෙවලොප් කරන්න කියන එක තමයි මූලික අරමුණ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. අපි බය වෙන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ.
Director General of the Power Sector Reform Secretariat, Engineer Pupududi Roshan, observed that they will create 3 separate companies which will be under the government to create, transmit and distribute electricity. It has also been decided to establish plans regarding electricity purchases and the operations part of it. This activity will be performed through the company named National System Operator, which will be 100% under the government. Apart from these 4 companies, task has to be taken of the present employees of the Electricity Board, and those employees who have already retired. A separate company owned by the government will be established in order to look into the EPF and ETF of those employees, which will be the 5th company to be established as a trust. The Ceylon Electricity Board, which was earlier to be divided into 12 companies, has now been restricted to 5 in this manner. LECO, which is under the government, will be in charge of the distribution of the electricity from Nigambu to Galle area in the coastal belt.
Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that researchers of all sectors, including health, should comply with the National Development Plan. He made these remarks following an inspection visit at the Medical Research Institute in Boralla.
The Medical Research Institute in Boralla is the oldest research in South Asia and the major medical research institute in Sri Lanka. Research on virology, bacteriology, parasitology, nutrition, immunology, molecular biology and many other sectors are being carried out by this institute. Inspection of the diseases, immunization, quality control and training of health professionals are also among the duties of this institute. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa inspected the relevant laboratories and inquired into the researches being carried out in this institute good at present. He also focused attention to the problems faced by the staff.
A program to provide gift vouchers amounting to 6,000 rupees each in order to purchase school textbooks and stationery to children from low-income families was conducted yesterday. The occasion, which was held at the Ministry of Education, Higher Education and Vocational Education, was headed by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya.
The program is being implemented with cooperation of the Ministries of Finance and Education, Higher Education and Vocational Education, along with two private institutions, Millennium 18 Dialogue Asiata Company and by a large number of other government and private institutions. This occasion was graced by Deputy Ministers Dr. Harshana Surya Peruma, Nalin Hevage, Madhura Seneviratne and a group of others. The Prime Minister observed that the country can be moved towards the progress coming out of the institutional restrictions of government mechanism and private sector and winning the challenges by working in a team spirit unitedly. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya said that the government will be able to activate a huge program in order to increase the quality and in education and give educational reforms from 2026, and had anyone entertained a doubt in this respect that can be avoided since the government will be able to perform this program.
Japan has granted a donation of 300 million yen for the Clean Sri Lanka program. It is approximately 565 million rupees. The money is to be utilized to purchase 28 modern compact vehicles for transport of garbage.
The documents relevant to the donation were signed at the President's office recently. Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, Mahinda Sirivardhana, signed it on behalf of the Sri Lankan government. Japanese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Akito Izumata, signed in the Japanese government. The Ministry of Finance says that the donation may lead to a significant development in the process of collecting and disposal of garbage. According to the intention of the Clean Sri Lanka program of the government, this donation will help to keep the country's physical environment tidier and to ensure national level commitment for sustainable practices. And now a few more local news items in brief. 3 suspects of crime gang members who have been arrested in Dubai were brought to Sri Lanka from Katunaik airport by a group of special officers of the CID. These suspects have filed to Dubai evading Sri Lanka courts, and in response to a request made by the Sri Lanka police, the Interpol has issued red notices against them. Accordingly, Dubai security officials have also taken the suspects into their custody. That's it on local stories. Stay tuned with international stories after this break. Welcome back with international stories, and moving to USA. The President Donald Trump signed an executive order sanctioning the International Criminal Court, accusing the body of improperly targeting the United States and Israel.
The order includes both financial sanctions and visa restrictions against unspecified ICC officials and their family members found to have assisted in investigation of United States citizens or allies. The move coincided with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the United States. In last November, ICC warrant Israeli Prime Minister well former Israeli Minister and also crime or Trump or that read the state danger and state for to have
Welcome back, and it's cricket on a sports update. And at the end of the second day's play of the second cricket test between Sri Lanka and Australia, Australia were 330 for the loss of 3 wickets. They're 73 runs ahead of the first innings total of Sri Lanka, and the match is being played at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. When the match commenced for the second day, Sri Lanka had scored 200.